Hello everybody and welcome to our weekly community stream that we have here from the EU office. Hopefully you know me by now. I'm Corsantos, I'm your senior community manager, and today with not the second twin but with the only lord that we have, the Lord of Droid.
One and only. Yes, welcome everybody.
Yes, and we have a lot of news today for you, so we're going to probably spend like 20 minutes talking about some upcoming stuff that we have for World of Warships. And I see some comments here in chat already. Hey, Chrysanthus, was nice playing with you yesterday. Nice playing with you as well. I hope we won. We must have won, clearly.
Somebody challenging me not to press a button.
Not to press a button. So the thing is, I think
challenge accepted.
I think today you cannot really break a lot of things. You can only break the order of things. So let me just quickly check whether YouTube is live as well. But otherwise, yeah, Lord Red, we have a few events actually coming up in Europe in September.
Yes, so the first one that is going to be really awesome is in Netherlands, in Den Helder. Where do I start? It's an awesome event. If you haven't yet registered for it, and if you can, you should definitely try to come, because there are certain people who will get access a private tour.
Yeah, but those people already
register.
We know the thing is that you don't. The cool thing is about this event, you don't have to register. For most of the events that we have, you actually have to register. But for this
for
one,
the VIP tour,
it's an open day at the museum in Den Helder, right next to the naval base. And a few of the lucky ones who already registered for the event, they had the chance to win one of the VIP tours on the actual Friesland that we have. So
actual modern Friesland.
Exactly.
Yes.
So those lucky guys, they already were drawn. We would have liked to obviously do it a bit later on, closer to the event. But due to security reasons, we had to submit the data.
Yeah, so there was a proper background check for people who were supposed to go and visit it. And there was a proper, naval background check. So that was very intense. I think some of the people couldn't make it in time. Their data. But anyway, it's going to be awesome. We have a free day, so you don't have to pay any entrance fees. There will be awesome goodies there, I saw.
Oh, yes. Oh, well, actually, I can actually unpack it here. It's not going to fit me, but overall, I can show you the T-shirts that we're going to have with us for the Den Helder event. And we showed this to you last week, but if you missed it, so it's here,
super awesome.
You should be able to recognize that beautiful design.
Truly awesome.
And you know by now how the back looks like. Obviously, we have the Dutch flag on this one. So if you are close to that area and you didn't hear about this yet, you can still come. It's an open day event, so all you have to do is basically come there. We basically paid for all of you already, so you get to come and join us for free.
It's from 10 to 6. I think so.
It's from 10 to 5:30, I think. You will find Mr. Lumberjack and me there, because we're going to be there to talk to you. We have gaming stations if you want to play some World of Warships. Maybe check out something new that we might have there for you to...
I wonder what it can be.
Who knows, right? Who knows? But you might be able to get your hands on that. Also, we have an interesting talking session there.
The Q&A with Bets.
Exactly. With a bit of the historical aspect of not just World of Warships, but the Navy in general. And it should be a really cool event. So
Can you provide a link?
Can you provide a link? Obviously, yes, we can. Mr. Lord of Droid is going to give you a link, but that's not the only event we're doing, because we're also going to be in Greece for pretty much the very first time at the Digital Expo on the 28th and the 29th of September. You will be able to meet there our community manager, Jabako, and he's going to be there too. We have a booth there, so you can play some World of Warships. We have a tournament there if you want to participate in that, and if you live in Greece. Should be a really cool event, obviously. We have some goodies.
And I will be there.
And you will be there as well?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I did see. I didn't even know about this. So you have a special guest to annoy there. He will be happy to answer all of your questions.
Yeah. Oh, no. No, yes or no. Yes, I'll be there, but we have a session on the stage, so we will be speaking a bit about the game. Will be interesting. Never had an event in Athens, as far as I know.
So it will be first. Not for World of Warships.
Not just for World of Warships. So yeah, I think it will be a good opportunity for us to do something there.
Exactly. And I mean, that's the regional news we have for you. If you live in Europe and you would like to participate in one of the offline events, these are two of the options that we have in the very near future. And there will be more events coming. So always keep an eye on our portal and obviously our social media and so on, because we will inform you in advance so that you have a chance to actually...
Panzer. Sorry. Yes, I think we are also planning to come to Reboot Gamer at Croatia. I think we will be there in some capacity.
So I don't think I can promise you to 100% that it's confirmed that we're there, but we're trying to be there. That's
I can promise, and then you have to execute it. I promise.
Wow.
No, we will be there for sure.
We'll do our best to be there. Yes.
Somebody actually is a spy here. Any spoiler about Secret India Excursion by Evan and rest of the guys from World of Warships says Jabberwock. Who are you? Where do you live? And how do you know this? I have so many questions.
Yeah. Are you going to change up the background soon? So the thing is, I had to prepare so many assets for the stuff that we're going to show you today that I didn't get to actually change this background. But it's still, currently we're still in the French update. So it's absolutely fine to have this background for today. Mm-hmm. And soon TM, we will change it up. And the question about the anniversary. So the anniversary is coming up and it will take place.
Can we call it happy birthday?
Well, it is kind of happy.
Just a birthday.
To ourselves. I mean, it's an anniversary, and it's going to be the 4th one. And it's, as every year, it's going to be on the 17th of September. And obviously, with that, there are a lot of things attached to it in terms of, goodies and presents and additional stuff. So keep an eye on the portal, because right now I still cannot confirm when it's going to happen, but there are some pointers of when that update might actually hit. Show me what you got. So okay, let's talk a bit about what's going to happen not in 8.8 but after that. For example, in 8.9, because we have quite a few announcements here, and I'll just go through this with you together. So first of all, that we're going to have the Italian cruisers coming into the game. So obviously we will have an Italian arc, which includes a port. Here you can see the Taranto part in the background. We will have directives. The completion of those will give you a temporary resource, which is going to be the Italian tokens. We will have early access to the cruisers from tier 5 to tier 8. And you can exchange those Italian tokens for camouflages, signals, premium account time, credits, the event containers, and some random bundles on top of that. So there should be plenty of choice for you. What you can see in the background already is the containers that you will be able to get. So basically the standard version and the premium version. And we have 2 new sets of camouflages. So first of all, the permanent one, which is the, I'm going to slaughter this Italian name for it. So I'm apologizing to all of the Italians.
It's not that hard. You didn't take the training from Sarah?
No, not for this one. So it's the Grigio Azzurro Chiaro.
You should have seen his hand moving.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
He was like this.
I was trained to do this.
Come on.
Ciao bella. And so this is the camouflage. What you see right now is the consumable one, and the next one will be the permanent one. The consumable one will be the Regia Marina, which will give you 100% XP bonus per battle, 50% commander XP, and 100% free XP on top of that.
You should just keep on doing like this.
Keep on doing this, yes. So a lot of cool content coming up. You should know by now roughly how it works with the updates for the arcs, and I hope you're actually quite hyped. New port for me is always something cool. Unfortunately, I don't have a video of the Taranto port, but I hope that the images get across the scenery of that port.
I think it's very gorgeous. Makes me go back to summer vacation. I don't see a beach there. Is there a beach?
In the background, you can see. You can see it in the background.
Okay,
yeah. It's a little bit
touristic.
Feeling.
All right.
You like your Twitch Prime Harbor? The Twitch Prime Harbor is also nice, but especially with event arcs, we like to deliver like a full package of. It's not just the Italian ships that you get, but also some other stuff. My microphone should be on, and I see it working, so should be all good.
What's wrong? Is my microphone working? Yes.
Yes,
it's working.
I can see everything working here. So
unless you want to troll with us, you kind of succeeded.
Yes, I see the obvious question about a code, and there is no code. So if you're only here for that, then you won't be happy today. We are low. That actually cannot be that true, but let me bump it up.
Let's get high. I mean, in volume.
Okay, so I'm going to max this out. So this should be better. Hopefully this is good. No, quite normal. Okay, so guys, I'm pretty sure it's on your side because I checked this.
Oh, audio is fine, yeah.
Yeah. So guys, if you have audio issues, it's probably your PC that is too low.
Now it's too loud.
I always do the sound check beforehand. So
He's very oh no,
I'm very German about this.
He's very German about it.
We
Yes,
can say this. But what comes after the Italian arc? Obviously, there will be
after.
After, yes.
Or before. We can talk about before, but not after.
Yeah. No, we're obviously going to have a Halloween event.
Yes. Oh.
And Halloween is always nice. So I have so much here to show. I'll start
with a 3-minute video. Hang tight with us, guys.
No. First of all, I'll start.
No, but I thought we decided with video.
Yes,
no.
The port is fine. So basically, this is how we slowly kick it off. This is the Halloween port that you see in the background, and you can already see some hints of what's going on. First of all, before we start the video about the actual mode, I wanted to talk about that we will bring back the Halloween events from 2016 and 2017. So basically, the Saving Transylvania and Sunray in the Darkness. And both of these modes will have a new difficulty level, which is called the Nightmare level. And trust me, it's gonna be nightmarish. It's gonna be very, very, very difficult to actually do this.
Whoever is asking about submarines, no submarines.
No. So that's the thing. That's why I highlighted 2016, 2017, not 2018. We won't bring back submarines as a Halloween mode, but you might actually be able to play submarines in some form of capacity later on in this year to test them, that we can bring them into game. Why are you laughing so
Nightmare
much?
level equals Brexit. I think yes.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, that's real life nightmare, but we.
Yes, that's Brexit level. I think we can put a level on it.
Yeah, we don't want to make you guys cry, so we won't talk about this one. Yeah, everything's gonna be fine, so that should be good. But yes, obviously there's gonna be a new game mode, and it's the Twilight Raid. And I'm just going to kick off the video, and you will see a bit in the background what's going on, because. First of all, it's a completely new game mode, but it uses elements obviously from previous modes. Yeah. So what you can see here is a resource that you will be able to collect. But first of all, this mode features 3 teams of 3 players. You will have to fight each other, but also AI bots. Mm-hmm. And these AI bots, the controlled ones, they're going to get increasingly better over time.
You want to say increasingly nasty?
Yes. So basically, you have to deal not just with your friends, obviously, but also with the bots. And every time you destroy one of these bots or one of the enemies, you will be able to pick up this new resource and consumables. Because first of all, you start the battle off with 0 consumables, like in the Rogue Wave event. And you will, first of all, move to whatever caps you can see. They're not really caps, it's a...
I don't understand this part.
You will see what this is about, hopefully in the future. But yes, so you destroy the enemy, you will be able to get consumables and this new currency that you see over there. I'll just wait a bit until we see part of the video where you're actually entering the circle and basically picking up this new resource.
Yeah.
And here is the portal. Obviously, you know the portal already from a previous event that we had in Halloween, but this time it serves a different function. Because
it's an exit point.
It's an exit point, exactly. And you will have to exit there because you basically pick up all of these resources, right? But if you don't make it to the portal in time to exit, you will only be able to take 20% of those resources with you. And you heard me right. You will be able to take these resources out of the battle. This is basically your reward for playing. And
think about it as a tax. If you can't make it in time, 80% tax.
Exactly. And you decide when you want to exit. So if you feel like, hey, this is as much as I can do and you want to exit early, that's fine. You will keep those resources.
Yeah. But the longer you stay, the harder the AI gets and
the higher the reward. So that should be pretty cool to get. And yeah, that's you can see it in the background, and hopefully you can guess a bit what's happening.
Mario coins, yes, kind of like that.
Yes, and the video already shows a few of the skins that we're going to have for this mode.
Yeah, people are noting the Yamato skin. Yeah,
Yes.
that looks sick.
Exactly.
But there is one skin just for me. No?
yes, the a beautiful droid one. Yeah, so this is the mode in general. Obviously, there will be new mechanics in terms of new consumables that we're adding for this specific mode. Right now, it's a bit too early to talk about this, but we wanted to show you how it works in general, and that you can be a bit hyped about this year's Halloween mode.
Sorry, no emergency yet.
No emergency.
I just saw a Skype message and I thought like there was an emergency.
No, so this was the video about the mode. Hopefully it looks interesting to you, and basically a bit high risk, high reward towards the end of that mode. If you want to really get the maximum of rewards out of that,
I think it's really awesome because we haven't had this kind of mode. It's like how greedy you can be.
Yeah, exactly. And I know all of you Unicums, you're going to try to get the maximum out of it, and leave on basically the last 3 seconds.
So there's the question: what stops a group camping at a gate, stay at full health, and gank low health? Okay, so I think you kind of missed the part where you have to actually actively go to the circles where resources are spawned. So if now I know.
No, but it's quite straightforward. If you camp, for example, you won't have any consumables, and the consumables will be very helpful. If you only camp there, then you have to fight 2 different teams of players.
Yes.
On top of the AI that is obviously going to spawn, I guess. I don't know where.
So the AI will attack you anyway, and you won't have any power-ups, and other teams will be bulkier and beefier and probably just kick you.
Exactly. Yeah, and then I will show.
Not so close to mic.
I think yours is a bit louder. I will actually lower you a bit because you are a very loud person.
I thought last time people were saying I wasn't loud enough. Okay.
No, this time it's fine. So when we, for example, show off this here in the background, so this is something new that is going to come to the game. It's a new type of permanent camouflage. It's basically the same kind of camouflage for different ships. So between tier 8, tier 9, and tier 10. You can take this camouflage, you can buy it or earn it, and then you will be able to apply it to the ship. And as soon as you apply it to a specific ship, it will take the the bonuses to trigger Evan.
Thank you.
Or to not trigger Evan, of that specific tier, and will be applied to that ship. So you can basically, just get it and then afterwards decide on what ship you actually want to apply it. So that's something cool to actually get.
There it is, the evolution. The evolution of the permaflage.
Exactly, the
how
evolution.
It beefs up, how it kind of levels up. That would be the word. Yeah. Levels up.
But the cool stuff that we want to show you, obviously, is first of all, I'll show you the tech tree in the background here, that you can see how it's going to work. So basically, it's a new nation that we're going to introduce for this mode. And there are 3 different classes of ships. You have destroyers, you have cruisers, you have battleships. So compared to the Rogue Wave event, you won't be only restricted to DDs, but you can pick these 3 classes, and the progression is quite easy, as you can see in the way that these ships are connected. And this way you can basically just level up and get the better ships. And I think the equipment that you will have available for these ships, a few of them will be temporal invulnerability, invisibility, healing shells, recovery of other ships' fighting abilities, and instantaneous turn at anchor. So
what? I heard invisibility.
It says invisibility, exactly.
Imagine a Yamato just being invisible.
So I don't know for which ship this will be applied. So we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see how that actually goes.
Oh.
But overall, this should be really, really cool. And we'll see how it. Obviously, we will test it to make sure it's not breaking anything, but it's a fun mode. So we can experiment a lot and have some fun there.
We just released a bunch of dazzling camos, which were quite cool. If you are not into the mechanical apocalyptic super camo, somebody's saying that they need more of those historical camo.
No, it's fine. I got the message. Yes. So that's the plan for now. And honestly, guys, this is obviously an event mode, so you will be able to get your hands on these camouflages. And if you don't like, actually, the proper skins, yes. And if you don't like that, you will always be able to just filter it out. And actually, I have some cool news about something like this later on in the stream. But let's take a look at the actual ships that we'll see here and their variations. So let's maybe kick off with the Angler.
So
this is something we already showed.
Anybody wants to take a guess? Now we have the name.
Oh, true, exactly. You can guess.
I think this one is obvious, slightly obvious. If I'm pretty sure our hardcore players can guess it. Anybody? Ah, yes.
Oh,
Yamato best as boat.
First, the Yamato got it immediately.
That's
a Shimakaze.
That's obviously a very nice one. Look at it. It's I think one of the most awesome ones.
Yes. And I mean, I guess you can figure out what it was inspired by. Obviously, the anglerfish, right? So that one, I'm not the biggest fan of the Shimakaze in the game myself, but that one will definitely make me play.
You don't
more.
like Shimakaze?
No. I like to bully other DDs with guns, not torpedoes. That's why I love my Friesland.
Okay.
Release the Kraken.
He is the one who switches every 6 months. Like his favorite things.
No, Hindenburg, like Montana and Minotaur. Montana and Hindenburg are my all-time favorites. But the third position actually switches a bit. What else do we have? We also have the Mutantovsk, which you can. Yes.
You can already guess what it is by the name Mutantovsk. Any guesses?
Any guesses? Yeah.
Here we go again. Yamato versus what? Khabarovsk. That's a Khabarovsk.
We basically Yamato, you're not allowed to participate in this guessing game anymore. You're too fast. Yes, and pay attention to how the modeling the modeling of the ship is actually animated. And we had this for the first time with the Mogami skin, the Kraken skin, and this time we're basically expanding this feature to a lot more ships, and I think it looks pretty cool.
Somebody's asking why Mr. Conway is not there. Well, he's having a family event in Germany, so he's on his way to Germany.
Yes, every once in a while we let him out of his cage and he's allowed to go home.
Yes. You have to stand before this. It's all right.
And then we have the camouflage for a lot of droid here.
Oh yes, I didn't know actually. I couldn't guess it. So anybody wants to take a guess on this one?
So I can tell you the name of this is the Octodroid. But we are his family.
Yes.
That's true. I will tell him that. No. I don't see.
Aren't we a family? Well, extended
we are.
Family. No,
guys. Every Thursday we're a family, right?
Alaska. Yes.
Grant. Well done, Grant.
Emilian_95
was faster.
Wow, that's a beautiful looking Alaska.
Exactly. And then we have my personal favorite, obviously not just because it's on one of my favorite ships, but also because it looks amazing.
Which one is this one?
It's the Crocosaur. And well, you will have to figure this one out, but that one is actually quite easy.
Because he said it's his favorite ship, his favorite babe. Look at him blushing. He's like, oh my god!
It's really like first love in the game. First love in the game, Montana.
That's a Montana.
Exactly. Yeah, this one. I love this one. I'll definitely get this as the very first.
Santos high school love from what beta.
Then on top of that, we also have the fossil. This is probably going to be a bit harder for you guys to guess.
I think already somebody guessed it because it was in the video, but let's see. Yes, it's a Henry. Very good, Kenuba. Yes.
Yeah, and Whiskey Fox as well. Wow, you guys are very, very fast with...
I think people who like Henry really knows just because it has a very peculiar silhouette. Can we collect new camos?
Can we collect this new camo? So obviously we'll be able to get these skins for your ships. How you will be able to get them, we'll have to see. I think it's a bit too early to talk about this. And then we also have the beautiful Scorpioid. And somebody...
this everybody knows already. This is, I think, very...
This is very easy to...
But this is really awesome. Look at it. Yamato. Yes, that's a Yamato.
And you just... I mean... I know we were probably not going to do it, but I still want to have it. That if you have an animation like this on the bow of the ship, you should get a ramming bonus.
Get out. No. That is the door.
You should
get out.
Chat, do you agree?
No.
Chat, give me an X in chat when you agree.
What you say?
So, yes. No, guys, I want to see X's. I want to see a lot of X's. See? The people have spoken.
Yeah,
Lord
okay.
of Droid.
See you next year then. Go get this done.
So sorry, we have
to St. Petersburg to get this feature out. That's the sacrifice we all have to agree for.
Yeah. So we had a lot of events for DDs. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy playing your cruisers and playing your BBs. I actually let me quickly double check because I got a big chunk of assets, but I need to double check whether I also got these.
It's okay. It's already half an hour. We are blah blah blah.
Wow. Yes. So guys, I hope you love all of this stuff. Actually, I'm going to play the mode video in the background, so you can take a look at the mode again, because we have some really cool quality of life improvements coming pretty well. Not very soon, but it is in work. It's basically hitting the super test to be tested. And let me just.
We can speak about it. It's very soon.
So I'll let this video play in the background. So first of all, we had a lot of requests about a feature that was not a feature but actually a bug. About the gun bloom, exactly. And we're testing now to put this into the game as a proper feature. So basically, once you shot, your gun bloom stayed for 20 seconds. Now, when you were actually losing line of sight, the bug led to this being permanent. I mean, not permanent, but you basically, if you went back into being undetected, it stayed like this. You did not pop up again. So we're going to actually introduce this, and basically, if you lose, we'll reintroduce this. Well, introduce it as a proper feature, not as a bug, because obviously we don't want to have bugs in the game. But we're going to test this now. It's basically if you lose the line of sight for more than 2 seconds, that will now work properly.
People are asking for 088. It's just around the corner.
It's pretty much right around the corner. But that's as much as I can say about this. And yes, and on top of that, we also added a guaranteed detection time. If a ship was detected by the enemy, it will be visible to the enemy for at least 3 seconds. This change we're introducing to help preventing an enemy ship from flickering when it appears and disappears on the map at a high frequency at the edge of the enemy team's detection range. So basically just a bit of a quality of life improvement. So now something cool. Basically, unresearchable ships which you do not have increased earning of credits will be merged into a new group of ships. And that enables us to do something cool, because that includes rentals, temporary ships, and ships in early access. And this way you will be easily able to differentiate between premium ships with higher earnings and other types of unresearchable ships. So that was a feature that was requested a lot, so that should be really helpful. Then, camouflages. If the player has disabled the display of special camouflages, then in battle, instead of the permanent ship's camouflage, sorry, I have to read this again.
What?
If the player has disabled the display of special camouflages, then in battles, instead, the permanent ship's camouflage will be displayed. And in case of its absence, the consumable camouflage type 5. So previously, ships were displayed without camouflage, even if they were installed on them. So because of this, it was possible to conclude that the enemy or ally did not have a camouflage bonus. And now my favorite feature. Because we have been asking for this for basically 2 or 3 years by now, because we are heavily involved with the tournament scene, the competitive scene of World of Warships, and we're going to get a Spectator Mode. So Spectator Mode is on its way. It will obviously be added for the training room, because this is where we're running all of the tournaments. So in the training room, it will be added to go into the battle without a ship as a spectator. Spectators will be able to watch the battle in real time and switch between spectating one of the 2 teams or both of them. So you can actually filter which one you want to see, and you can do this in the battle. The color indication of the commands does not change when changing the observation side. One team will always be green, the other one will always be red. So all of you casters are going to have a lot of fun with this because you don't have to worry about this anymore, and switch sides on streams. And the spectators do not have access to battle chat, quick commands, and cannot leave marks on the minimap, just to avoid that they have any influence there. But they can be attached to ships, planes, and shells like a camera after destruction of a ship. On the post-battle statistics screen, spectators will have the access to information about the composition of the teams and which team won the battle. And up to 20 spectators can be present in one battle. Obviously, we will have to test this. All of these information are preliminary, but we hope this is going to work, and maybe we can even have that for the next King of the Sea. But we'll have to see. But this is something we're testing, and it should make tournaments much more enjoyable to watch and also to cast.
Oh, well, if spectators are sniping, we will always have the delay anyway in competitive.
I mean, overall, in terms of sniping and relaying information, this is something where we only have a very limited influence. If somebody really wants to do it, then he can do it, but he will be caught and excluded from the tournament. So we have mostly very established casters, and the organizers will basically put them on a green or a white list of the people who can actually do that. So,
people wanted to see that. Okay. I think we should play. We are boring people.
Yes. I'm sorry, guys. It was just a lot of information that we wanted to put out there. All of this you can find on the dev blog, wherever you want to find that. So, the dev blog is both on the Reddit. You can find it on Facebook. You can find it on your regional forums, no matter whether you're from Asia, Russia, or Europe. You can just go to your forums and it will be published there with all of the beautiful pictures. The videos you won't find there because that's a bit tricky to upload to all of these places, but you will have all of the screenshots.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are you special or am I special?
We're both special. Why?
Why am I wearing headsets and you are not?
Because I only use the headset for gameplay.
You see, you're special.
Yes, I'm special. I'm quite special. Yes. So, guys, we will now switch to this weird thing called gaming and actually play this game, World of Warships. So let's have some fun.
I'm set.
You're set. What are we going to do?
Ranked. Are we gonna play?
We're going to play ranked sprint. Yes, I'm pretty close to ranking out.
Oh no, not
so
this.
I will invite you to a division in a second. And let me just quickly bring up the chat so I can actually answer a few additional questions. Will World of Warships have a Twitch Prime collaboration again soon? You see that World of Tanks is having one right now. Not in the foreseeable future, to my knowledge. So, but if we will have that, we'll obviously let you know. But we had it pretty much 1.5 years ago, in I think April and May 2018. Was when we had the Twitch Prime collaboration. Maybe we'll have it again in the future, but not in the foreseeable one. What do you want to play?
I play everything.
You play everything. Okay.
Yes. So take your, I don't know, your favorite ship here. I'll just take anything.
You know what? I really like playing my Digras, and I love that ship.
Okay, I had it selected. Cheater.
Probably because I played it last week already on Range.
Cheater.
Any more announcements? No, that's pretty much it. But there might be some additional information tomorrow on the Russian stream, and obviously we'll publish this on the dev blog as well. Will Nikolai Kuznetsov be available once more to obtain? Yes, Vasilevs, he will be available for coal in the foreseeable future. And Whiskey Fox, what CV line would you want to personally see next? French, German, Italian? So, me personally, I don't really have a big preference when it comes to that because I'm not like a huge CV fan. But what about you?
Let's not talk about CVs. It still hurts.
It still hurts. No, but I mean, I would obviously love to see the German line because there might be some interesting stuff in there because they weren't really built that's kind of the downside. So it would be a lot of paper designs. But overall, I would still be interested to see, what Germans were working on and how the designs would actually work out in World of Warships.
Yeah, I think I need to check what the next.
Oh, you're playing Admiral Makarov.
Why not?
Yes, no, it's a cool ship and actually quite rare to have. Did you check your pockets for any codes? Let me double check.
He's actually checking.
I have my wallet, but there are no bonus codes. I can't believe
he actually checked. He's so German about this. He's actually checking all his pockets.
They might have been lucky about this. If I had one, I might have given it up, but not today, guys. No, today we won't have a giveaway. Any chance of getting back attaching fighters to ships? I think it's unlikely. And now I will actually put on my headphones so I can listen to the game.
I was about to make a very bad joke, but I will make it after the stream.
Okay. Will Pan Asian Fleet get any more cruisers or battleship lines, even CVs? I mean, there's always the chance to, the option to give more ships to that specific nation, but I don't think there's anything coming up in the foreseeable future, so I wouldn't get my hopes up, at least at this point. Oh, I just realized, also check your settings, because my French community manager, Tanatoy, used this PC before I did, and he set it to French commands, and I can tell you, nothing is worse than playing with a French keyboard when you're not used to it, because all of the buttons are different.
Mighty Wombat? What?
Can you answer Mighty Wombat's question?
What is the question?
So in general, guys, if you see that the question was not answered, just ask it again, because referring to a question that we didn't answer, the only reason why we probably didn't answer it is because we either didn't see it or because there were too many other questions, and we'll have to pick, right? How about modeling the French CV branch?
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, I'm sure that this is a good option to get, but obviously it takes a while. And it's not that we just introduced the Royal Navy CV line, but obviously there will be some time in between the last CV release and the next one.
Critical errors in the
so Terry Cox, in general, if you encounter issues in terms of game performance or critical errors, the one thing you should do is you head to our customer support, you create a ticket, you attach a wargaming check, so we can take a look at what this is, like what is causing this for you, and maybe we can figure out whether it's on your PC, maybe it's something with the client, so we can fix it for you.
When will Ohio be released? Not very soon.
Ohio, she's not too far away. Keep an eye out. The portal is always, good source of information for that.
So we are definitely playing as a random division.
Evil Friend is asking, is there any chance of getting a co-op ranked mode asking for a Mr. a friend? So that's highly unlikely, but who knows? I never say never.
So you are alone at sea. Can you tell me what are you doing at sea?
So I was basically, because what I dislike is everybody in one place. You don't really have any kind of angles. So I was trying to make sure that we have some additional angles to...
what are you doing with that angle?
Well, right now, not much. But I would be able to reset, for example, if somebody would be trying to go into B.
Oh.
This ship is built for kiting. That's what it's really good at. So that's what I'm trying to use it for. And, this is not a ship that will blap things, but over time it will either wear them down or wait a bit and then sneak up on other lonely cruisers.
It's death by 1,000 cuts. That's exactly what it does. Or maybe 100 in this case.
Siegfried whenever it's ready. What happened to Slava? She's currently basically still being looked at, and as soon as we have more information on Slava, we will let you know.
Slava is right now somewhere sleeping.
Can you put the Makarov in the store for us?
Oh.
So see, Atrox, it's good that I have this guy here with me. Because he can ask for it.
This is very complicated question to ask.
So theoretically, yes, right? We can. We'll have to take a look at when we could.
Are you going to do something with Hatsuharu or just...
Yeah, I'll help the T-61. There's an enemy Makarov. You should be able to sit it
I didn't know
from this range.
Makarov was in such a big demand. Or there is some demand for it. Or maybe just because of ranked.
Are we going to have steel as a reward for this year's anniversary? So in general, steel is a resource that we don't just hand out, you know, like left and right.
Not even in the team.
Exactly. So if we do that, it's going to be for special occasions. Anniversary might be one of them, but I wouldn't really get my hopes up for that.
Okay.
Hmm?
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
What do you mean? The thing is, you will see what you get for the anniversary rewards very soon. But steel is something that we don't just hand out like this, right? It's something that is usually earned or used for very special occasions, like for example Christmas. So, you know, there's a chance that you sometimes might be able to get some steel through different activities, but mostly it's through competitive modes like ranked or clan battles. Bismarck has a sister ship, Yamato has a sister ship. Can we get Arizona's sister ship, USS Pennsylvania? Maybe in the future, but it's like any questions about potential future ships. There's always the option that we can add them, right? And once we're ready to talk about ships that are currently in production, we will tell you, because we want you guys to know that we're working on them. But if we haven't announced them yet, there's a reason for it. And once we're ready to announce ships, we will always do it. Please work on tier 10 premium CVs. So first of all, we need to finish the carrier rework balancing, and then we can take a look at what else we can do. But tier 10 premium ships, it's always a tricky topic. We can think about maybe adding some like resource bound ships on tier 10, like we have with coal or steel and so on. A straight up premium ship is a trickier topic. Any chance for a possible return of Apache steel ships in the future? That really depends on collaboration, basically. I really need to get out of here for now. Nice, I get a citadel out of this.
Oof. We have all 3 caps, at least. Oh, no.
That Hatsuharu is a bit scary, and our T-61 turned away after I was trying to help him. Oh, I might not survive this. No. Let's not beach. So guys, I also have to concentrate a bit here on the game. Even though I did beach myself. Yeah, I'm going to go down here. No.
Haha. This is nice.
Mwop mwop.
Did you just die?
Yes, I beached myself because I was paying too much attention to chat, trying to answer questions.
I can undo the joke. People say I divisioned up with you in rank so that you can carry me. Now watch me.
Okay, we're watching you. So do carry us. Any news about the Udachi? Same news as about any new potential ship that is currently not available. As soon as we're ready to talk about when we're going to release her, we'll tell you. Oh sure, blame chat. Yeah, that's the easiest way for me to do this right now. The Nation Camos just offered would have been great for Research Bureau. this kind of prize would be really great. Or special permanent flags offering credit XP bonuses. So the Hoagie, this is obviously something that we can add in the future, and this is also what we said when we released the research bureau, that the kind of stuff that you will be able to get through that tool will be expanded over time. At some point, it might also contain special camouflage, skins, whatever. But obviously, we had to start somewhere. And then, just like the armory, for example, that started off with, let's say, like a smaller assortment of things, is growing over time and will always be expanded. So the same thing will be true for the research bureau. But it's, yeah, definitely an option. Isn't the Makarov a Nuremberg-class ships? Yes, Hornviech, exactly. It's basically a Nuremberg under the Soviet flag. Will the Germans get the Russian captured battleship Sovetskaya Ukrainia?
Whoa, damn it.
Maybe, but I don't know about any plans for this. So if that would happen, it would be in future rather far away.
Are we gonna win this?
Is the Wargaming Center the only way to download the special client for the subtest? Yes. Could we have a game mode for very low tier ships without seal clubbing? Because I love a lot of older designs, they have history. So Lovelace, the thing is that we have a special matchmaking queue for newbies. So if you play lower tiers, you won't fight against somebody who just started playing the game, because they are in protected matchmaking. So that's not really a big concern for you. If you want to play a lower tier ship, you won't really be seal clubbing in that sense. Obviously on tier 4, tier 5, this is then when they get to be part of the rest of the game, and they will it will be a bit of a bigger change for them to then meet more experienced players, but that's true for any game. So if you want to play a tier 2, tier 3 ship, just go ahead and have some fun in it. And
the results are out.
Oh, nice! I got some additional points for the Hall of Fame. Oh, I mean, we didn't really carry this one, but that's the good thing.
You.
Clearly, yes, by 19 XP.
Yes.
Let me congratulate you. Thank you very much.
You have anytime.
Yes, so that's the cool thing about World of Warships, that you play as a team, and even if you don't have the best game, somebody else might pick up your slack and help out. So I'll give that T61 a +1. He was doing a good job securing the caps, because the point advantage was the biggest thing. Oh, and the Grumpy Beard. Hey man, how you doing? Hope you're having a good week. And Johannes, one thing that you find annoying in the game is your consumables keep changing buttons as you swap ships. Can we have a universal key setup? This was Mighty Wombat's question. Okay. So I'm fully with you on this. I would also love to have this feature, but it's quite tricky to implement because that's related to our UI. So this is something that is on the to-do list for the future, but I don't know when this will ever happen. So that's the honest answer for this. Would be cool to have, but I don't know when.
Old school.
What happened to the announced US and California? Well, Brand, she's currently in development, and
yeah,
but once she's ready to be tested, we'll test her, and then you will be able to see her.
We have plenty of new ships coming, so she's relaxing.
That's in general, that's a bit of the downside of being very transparent about all of the things that are happening, basically even before Super Test is coming out. So you guys have a lot of visibility on what things are coming within the next months. But obviously we have to finish the testing. We have to, make sure the balance is right, and technical tests. And once all of that is done, then the ship can be released. So you have a kind of an idea of when the ship enters testing, how long it takes at least to be able to make it into the game. But yeah, that's basically how we do it. So you saw basically the teaser, and soon TM it will be in testing, and then we'll have to do the balancing part, and then she would be ready to be sold or to be earned in what form or way ever. And then we'll see when it makes sense to actually put that ship out for you guys to get, and then that's basically the process.
The legendary Dave for the win is actually pushing his luck. What about bringing Missouri back? No. That's as simple as it gets.
When will the testers get the German Tier 8 light cruiser? Oh, the mines? Whenever she's ready to be tested. I hope soon. All good. Just tired equals daddy life. Oh man, I can't relate because I don't have kids, but I can imagine. But Lord of Droid can probably relate to that feeling.
Oh well, I think maybe he's newly become father. No,
I don't know, to be honest.
My kids are grown up, so I don't have this issue.
Yeah. Disco is saying, will the Musashi ever come back to the game or premium store? Potentially, but Musashi. I cannot. Yeah, Musashi.
Ah, Musashi.
But the thing is that
I
not right now.
I wouldn't count on it yet.
The thing is, we don't say never, but we say it's currently highly unlikely.
Soon known.
Yeah. Any plans on making the circles of epicenter another color than white because it gets messy with your fire range circles? That's a good suggestion. I'll check whether it's possible. And Dracuya, if you keep spamming in caps lock, I will not read your question. It's very simple. Will the HSF Harekaze come back in store in the future? So I think our HSF collaboration also ran out. So this is why we currently cannot have HSF content. But if you get it back, then she could make it back into the store.
Yeah. Grumpy Brit kids, it's 8 months old. So
as the
I can relate.
Oh, 8 months. Yes, that's a time that is not filled with a lot of sleep. Are we going to have sea mines as a new type of armament for ships in the future, perhaps to counter submarines? Maybe, but not in the very near future. I mean, we tested sea mines in the Operation Dynamo, but I don't think there are any plans in the foreseeable future to add it to the game in any other capacity. Why do you put these ships out, for example, like the Missouri, Musashi, and then remove them? Well, Cobra, for different reasons. Obviously, we want you guys to be able to get those ships, but sometimes we are in certain positions where we say, hey, for example, that ship is becoming too popular for its own good, so we have to, kind of limit the availability of that ship. It really depends on the situation. We also have ships, for example, like the Belfast or the Kutuzov. We realize that they have a certain impact on the game due to their performance. So we kind of have to take them out because otherwise they have a certain impact on the gameplay. So this is a decision we have to make, and it's not easy for us as well. But we want to make the right decision, so that's why we removed these ships. Have you considered providing tools for user-created scenario battles?
Oh,
I mean,
yes,
but I think it's simply too difficult, especially with deploying the game and so on. So I don't know. It's something we can a question we can relay to our developers and maybe see what the answer is. Why we're not doing this? Because I honestly don't know. My guess would be it's simply because it's too complicated. Will the depth charges from DDs cost us credits? I mean, they're kind of ammunition, so there might be cost attached to it, but right now it's too early to say, because this is still, in very, very early testing. Can you please give me a code? No, sorry, not today. Why do you never just fix ships with balance problems, Belfast Kutuzov, rather than remove them from sale? So, we tried. This is
don't trigger me with that one.
No, so in general, this is something we wanted to do, and we talked about this very openly with the community, and we gathered feedback on this. And players who already spent money on these ships were very vocal about basically not feeling how to phrase this. They were not happy about this decision that we want to rework these ships.
We were not on the same page.
Yes. So we had to make a decision. Do we want to have, loyal customers who, do spend money and support the game and be unhappy about the decision we're making, touching these ships even though they were buying them as they were back then, or not? And due to the community backlash, we decided that, okay, we're not going to do this, and we'll keep them out of the shop. Is there any info on the German Legendary Commander? There's no update currently. Hopefully we'll have some updates in the foreseeable future. Any progress on the missing operations such as Cherry Blossom or Dynamo? I don't have a current update, but I can investigate. I know they're currently work in progress, basically because we need to adjust the AI for the CVs. But I'll see whether I can get an update on this one. Brutal. Is the Molotov moving? No, not really. I don't want to be too greedy here. Ooh, is there... I really want to get that Dallas here. Actually, we can probably showcase this. Hopefully we can get some citadels.
What showcase?
Yup.
What? Look where I am. Right in... Ah, you're getting citadels. That's what you want to showcase.
Yeah!
Ah!
We didn't get more citadels. The only problem is there's a New Mexico now that can pretty much just, you know, touch me wherever he wants to. I'd like to get a fire before switching to AP.
God damn, it seems like somebody has hydro there.
Small caliber AP can be really evil, especially on broadsides. I hope the T-61 can land a few torps. I will try to add some... HE here. Maybe get a fire. Don't touch me, please. Yeah, this ship has paper as armor, so this does happen. Incapped one of my turrets. Just never fun. T-61 unfortunately did not land any needs. Are you the Huanghe?
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Yeah, I was just wondering why you're hiding behind me, and then I realized if I'm made out of paper, what are you made out of?
I'm out of what's left after paper.
It's just wet paper. So obviously we want to hit here into the superstructure.
There is a Molotov charging me. There is a Fuso charging me. What? Let them charge. The problem is the Hydro.
Once we can
I would
get
like to torp them, but somebody's using the Hydro, which is
okay.
which should be made illegal for this time zone. Come on.
This really hurts him.
Fuso is repairing. Yeah, he's repairing. Damn it.
Come on.
Ah,
die.
Took out Dallas.
Nice.
And the Hydro is off, so probably...
Cool. Okay, well, the Molotov is not in a great spot. We're leading by 500 points. I really love this ship. And guys, I'll try to answer a bit more questions in a bit. You can just... I guess you can imagine that playing and answering all of these questions is sometimes a bit challenging.
Come on. Again, Hydro. Yeah, Normandy, sure. Eat this. Give me my kill. Oh, come on.
Clearly my kill. Clearly my kill. I don't feel bad about this. Ooh. Fuso, go away.
Even Molotov can do a nice one to you. Are you gonna die again?
This hurts a lot. I wish those torps would have landed like 10 seconds earlier. But yeah, this ship is made out of paper, but I love it. De grace. It's a great ship on tier 6. Does a lot of cool things, but you have to you have to be aware of that missing piece of armor.
I think this time
kill secured, exactly.
Yeah, you will carry me because
I just wanted to make sure that this ship won't be able to land another salvo on Lord of Droid. I was basically just protecting him.
Yeah, I couldn't even get that kill.
What's up with the connection for a second flag on German ships? So Mineros, I mean, we want to have this at some point, obviously, but if you take a look at how we introduce these collections, it's usually tied to a story arc, for a nation. So we didn't really have this in the last, I don't know, when did we introduce German battleships? Almost
2 years ago.
German did these with last edition. That was pretty much 2 years ago.
I have a suggestion. A feature suggestion.
A feature suggestion, okay.
We should put a date when the ship was introduced in Poland.
Oh, that would be cool, yes.
With its historical date and when it was launched in game.
Well, historical date is in there, but not when basically the history of World of Warships. But we didn't. So what I wanted to say is that we didn't really have a German branch in quite a long time. So we didn't have that option to do that when we started using this new kind of approach to how we introduced tech trees and so on. So hopefully we'll be able to get this in the foreseeable future, but it's not right around the corner because you know that the Italian cruisers are going to be the next.
I'm going to feel some pain in Pensacola.
Where is the link to the dev blog of the stuff you announced today for changes in World? I will give that to you in a second. Let me just quickly ready up and push us into battle. Maybe Lord of Droid can actually. You're not ready yet. Are you playing Pensacola?
As I said, I just wanted to feel some pain.
We played it last week and it hurts like a truck, but it also gets hurt like a truck, unfortunately. So give me a second. I will grab the link for you guys so you can actually see where you can find those news. So on Facebook, we have this beautiful development blog. There you go. You just follow this link and they will find all of the information we talked about earlier today. Can we get an upgrade on daily containers, say from 3 to 5? 37k XP isn't hard to get. Wow. That means you play a lot. If 37k is for you, like, nah, come on, guys. Let's go. We initially had the plan to up that number. I think it was in the Waterline video for 2017, I think. But then we introduced a new feature with the directive, so you get to basically have even more rewards by fulfilling directives. On top of that, we also introduced daily rewards for playing, the daily chains. So that was kind of making up for that.
Supplement, yes, exactly.
So that's why there's no 4th or 5th container.
What we don't want is like make everybody play for 37k XP. What we want is like you play a bit, but you log in and you get login bonus as well. So it's like split very nicely.
Yeah, I mean there are a lot of ways to get rewards in World of Warships. If you think about the daily shipments, for example, that we introduced, the daily chains of missions, you have the daily containers, the directives, or additional missions, Twitch drop missions, for example, as well. If you watch here on Twitch, you get those on top of it. I mean, never say never. Maybe in the future we will add like an additional layer for even more XP. If you have like one of those crazy days where you play a few hours, but not in the foreseeable future. But I'll pass it along. But that's basically the context of it.
For a Graf Zeppelin question, yes, we are aware of the situation, I think.
So, I mean, the Graf Zeppelin is a very special case, basically in the way she was introduced, and then how we involved the owners and how we can make her better in terms of balance. Then obviously there was a huge change with the CV rework, and now we're trying to help that ship. I think we'll take another closer look soon, TM, on that ship, whether she needs more help.
Yeah.
And then we'll give you an update. I mean, we already buffed her in, I think it was 8.5. And we'll see whether she needs more buffs. Obviously, with additional changes to the game, that always impacts ships, and we played around with AA quite a bit in the last updates. So we'll have a look, and then we'll see. And usually, when it comes to premium ships, what we don't want to do is, we try to avoid nerfs because that's not what you paid for. Unless it's like a systematic change that we apply to all of the ships, so to a mechanic where it has to be across the board. That wasn't too clever. We only have one DD. The enemy has a Fushun, we have an Anshan. So usually their DD goes towards C while we go to A, and that's exactly what's happening. Leave me alone, CV. I want to actually get out of here.
It's okay. You're with me.
Are you going to protect me? Oh no 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 no. This is no bueno.
What? You're fine.
Not good. Well, I wanted to. I mean, the good thing is that Nuremberg did not have AP loaded, and I touched him with 2 citadels.
Who is that from the smoke? Is that Leander? Yes, it's Leander. Damn it. That's actually not good for my health. But now I'm undetected, so it's okay.
That Nuremberg is still sailing broadsided, I think.
I'm waiting for one salvo. Maybe he'll give. Oh, again I'm detected. Yes. Oh no, he's.
Any Pan Asia ships coming soon? And not in the foreseeable future. Because you see what kind of ships we announced, and there's no Pan Asian ship in there. Oh, nice one! Somebody blapped that ship.
Yeah, I wanted to blap him, and I just realized I'm also him, so I better be careful.
Yes, but the guns of the Pensacola are so nice. They make up for the lack of armor.
Let's see. Give me something. Yes. Talking about guns. Oh, this is bad.
So let's get that Leander.
Sure, be my guest. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that hurt. That West Virginia
Why
just
am I
repaired.
detected though?
Because the DD is coming in, I guess.
He's not in.
Well, you're not the sneakiest cruiser out there.
Spare me. Wait a second, Leander. I have some unsettled business with you.
I would really like to set that West Virginia on fire. But yeah, that Leander, if he keeps reversing, I'll touch him inappropriately. Ah, no, he's moving forward.
The DD is annoying me. Where is he? He's not in B. So why am I detected so far away? And I'm beaching.
What's your detection range, actually?
12 kilometers. 12.4. 12.4.
Oh, can I get that West Virginia? Come on, 600 HP. He's burning.
2.
Okay.
Oh, Leander. What a place to park for me. That Leander really deserves one spanking. Like one nice one.
And he will be probably smoking up soon. Maybe I can touch him before that. Yes. It's at least one citadel.
How can you be in Leander and full broadside to full enemy team?
I mean, that sometimes, sometimes it takes a bit to get back into tier 6. If you play a lot of high tier matches and you revisit a tier like tier 6, then you sometimes a bit you underestimate the enemy firepower and your HP pool.
These underage boats.
Oh, well, I guess he really wanted to launch those torps.
I have only 19k damage. Our team is too good.
That's not a problem in my book.
It's a good problem to have.
Exactly, it's a luxury problem. Will Jasha be able to obtain as a captain again, Mistress? Sadly, I'm sure she will be obtainable again, but I don't know when, to be honest. We'll have to see. Is that no Bayern? No, Bayern. No. So I hope that Bayern is not going to try to touch my my ship here.
Touch your. I thought you were gonna make some inappropriate joke. Touch
yeah,
my,
no. Tralala.
Pretty sure I can.
Hello. 9k. Let's get a second salvo in. I hope he didn't get to launch torps. Oh, come on. He got the...
On Pensacola, I should get some preference.
He tried to torp the BB.
Seriously? 147 HP. Thank you, CV. Whatever I did to you.
Oh, I wanted to piggyback on that
I
smoke.
can't. Oh, this will be fun. I will die because of ramming.
That will make him pink, I guess.
128, 127, 126, 125.
Okay, let's watch this.
Okay, it's okay.
It's okay?
It's okay. It's all good. Oof. Where is the popcorn?
Okay, let's see whether we can get that CV or not. Ah, he's burning down. Oh, there's still a DD. I keep forgetting about the DD. Where is he? Oh, wow, he's... Oh, man, he's hunting our CP.
Clever
questionable choice here. In general, chat. You know, if you sometimes struggle a bit with what to go for, especially in a mode like ranked, if you're not really comfortable with you know, more competitive modes, especially in a DD, go for objectives. That's your main goal, because you have to spot for the fleet, you have to cap, you have to decap, and there's a DD that can sometimes be challenging. But even as a Fushun, you're still able to do that. Because the Fushun has a good detection range, so you're able to use that to your advantage and you know, spot the enemy fleet. Going for something like the enemy CV won't really give you the upper hand, especially in a mode like ranked, because I mean, in ranked, for example, the battles are quite fast, and you need to get the upper hand in terms of, you know, cap control and overall map control in terms of, you know, for example, the damage you're able to apply. And oh, I managed to reach rank 1.
You managed to do what?
I reached rank 1, so we'll have to play something else.
Oh God, come on, just one.
I would love to. But I think I'm sorry, Mr. Lord of Droid. You will have to. The last star you will have to earn by yourself.
The deal was we rank out. We rank out.
So I have a suggestion. So you play with one of our viewers, and I will focus on answering the questions.
Anybody's on this rank and wants to play?
So we need somebody who's playing on rank 5 to rank 2 and is willing to help Lord of Droid to rank out. So you have to leave the division and you know, create your own division. And I will try to answer a bit more questions.
No, I'll wait for somebody to invite. Let's see.
Okay.
Whoever invites me first, I'll play with it.
Why North Carolina can shoot planes with the secondary guns when they normally shoot at planes? I'm not 100% sure. I would have to check. But North Carolina is a very strong AA ship usually, so I thought they would be dual purpose, but I'll have to check. Here a question from M-Vital. Why are the devs bound and determined to break the game with introduction of ships like the Smolensk campaign? Haven't you guys learned from World of Tanks that super weapons are not the way to go? So, these ships have very clear advantages and disadvantages. Yes, they're high rate of fire ships. And obviously, depending on the choice of ship that you're in, there will be ships that can be annoyed by this. You know, if you play against a high rate of fire HE ship like a Smolensk or a Bayar, then obviously, you know, you will take quite a bit of damage over time, and you know, even maybe just HE damage by the amount of shells they put out. They do have a really high DPM, but then again, this is part of their design, right? They don't have a lot of HP, they don't really have a lot of armor, so there is some counterplay to it, but obviously that's always part of team play. Just for example, the way you will have to deal with the Shimakaze. Shimakaze, if you're in a battleship, will always be in the position where if it's just a one-on-one situation, he will just torp you to hell. And you know, over time he will flood you, he will land torpedo hits and so on. So that's a general aspect of our game, right? Different ships have different strengths, different weaknesses, and to be able to overcome them, you do need to rely on the team. Yes, there are certain matches or matchups of ships where you will be able to just, you know, have a one-on-one and you don't really have to rely on anybody else. But overall, it's a team match, and we have tools like radar, hydro, defensive AA, and so on.
When Booster came out, it was the same issue. And
yeah, basically you will have to figure out how to play against it. And a ship, for example, like the Smolensk, yes, it has a high damage potential, and really skilled cruiser players will do a lot of damage with that. And Obviously, if there's something we need to change about this ship, we will change it. If we see that she's too strong, we will do something about it. Right now, it doesn't look like it. Yes, you will see games where Smolensk is going to do a lot of damage. On the other hand, you will also see games where Smolensk gets blapped within 2 minutes because he got into the wrong position or somebody actually sniped him in the smoke, because it's not that safe in smoke all the time. It also attracts torpedoes. So overall, what we're trying to do is, and by the way, send a message to Lord of Droid if you want to play in a division in ranked. I mean, obviously, we try to have different flavors and different kind of ships in the game. Before we introduced Smolensk, for example, we introduced the Soviet BB line, which is a line that excels at pushing, and being the kind of ship that is not sitting in the back, but that's, the kind of tank you want to have in your fleet that goes in and, holds a cap, and you can support him while doing that. So we try to have a balance in certain aspects of the game, or in all aspects of the game, but obviously some ships will be very strong in one aspect, very weak in another aspect. How that plays out in the game with the meta is sometimes difficult to basically predict, but overall it is working. And if we see that we have to do something, we will do something. It's just offering you this kind of variety of gameplay options that you have in the game.
I remember the same discussion when Minotaur came out, because it has such a high rate of fire, and there were a lot of concerns about it. Just frankly, it's just too early to make any conclusion, because the guys who are playing right now is just it will take a time before we have a look at it and say like, oh wow, this is overpowered. Oh, it's okay.
So if nobody wants to play with you, then shame on you, chat, first of all, and second of all, just play by yourself. And I'm just happy to answer questions, because today we have a lot of questions. So I'll just focus a bit on this. Any cold CVs planned? Not in the very near future, maybe later on. Are we getting Twitch missions just by watching today's stream? Yes, there should be a new Twitch mission being released today with the Twitch shops. Do we know when Captain Kuznetsov will be available in Arsenal for coal? No, I don't have a date yet. Could it be possible, for example, to set the matchmaking up so it chooses players plus minus with the same win rate? Theoretically, that would be possible, but we don't want to have this for random battles. Random battles are exactly that.
They're called random.
Honestly, this is something that's a conscious choice that we're making. We want to have random battles work like this. It's a random set of players. There are some rules in terms of what classes can be in the game and how many of them, and with the now up and down tiering that we added to help you guys have a better time in the game. But overall, we want to have this aspect because it's core of that mode to have that random aspect. We have more competitive modes like ranked battles, for example, where the player skill mostly evens out to a certain degree the higher you get in ranks, because it takes a certain skill or investment to get to that point. And then we have clan battles where you really have a good matchup with other clans in terms of skill because of the system in the way it works. Maybe we'll have more options like this in the future, but at least for random matches, I would not expect this.
Somebody saying buff Belfast, give torpedoes. Yeah, that sounds like
exactly.
a great idea.
Evil Friend says, I can do well in the Smolensk. Isn't that all the proof you need that it's OP? With you, Evil Friend, maybe. Maybe now I need to take a look at it. No, but obviously, jokes aside, we do keep eyes on the stats all the time. I mean, this is core of the game, right? To have a good balance. And if we see that something is amiss, we will do something about it. It will take some time for stats to normalize, because whenever we release a new ship, it is stronger than, let's say, 4 to 6 weeks later. Sometimes you see discussions on the forums, right? When they say like, oh, when the ship came out, it used to be so strong, and now it's not as strong as it used to be. The thing is that's not because we touch these ships, but because initially people don't know how to play against it. You have to, gather that experience as a player, first of all, how to play the ship and how to play against it. And once that evens out, and also with the amount of ships that are in the matchmaking, initially, usually there's a bit of a spike because a lot of people want to get it, they play it, and then they get back into their normal routine of ships they want to play, the events they want to participate in. So it takes usually, I would say, like 8 to 12 weeks for us to get a good set of data for, first of all, the meta to calm down a bit and see realistic numbers of how this ship performs, on an average basis. We do read a lot, on forums and other community channels like Reddit, and we do see your feedback, and if we always check, right? But in terms of when to apply changes, we have to make sure that we make the right changes for ships if we need to make them. And if we see that we don't need to make them, then we try to give you the context of why we're not doing this. For example, a few weeks ago, we had a special stream with Seb Octavian, our live producer, and he gave a very in-depth explanation about how we look at stats and basically how we take feedback on board, how we look at numbers, and how all of that plays into balancing ships and what kind of decisions we do. So if you missed that, I highly recommend you to check this out.
Eagle Power 1, I just read your suggestion. Please, no torp from behind your allies.
So, okay.
Just not allowed.
Okay, so honestly, if you spam,
yes,
I will just, sorry, guys. Sorry, if somebody is spamming, then I'll have to remove them. When will you hear something about your CC application? So, Rogue Monkey, the thing is that Mr. Conway is currently completely swamped, so I hope he will be able to get back to you within the next 2 weeks, because next week he will be on an offline event. I'm sorry, sometimes this takes a bit of time, mostly because there are a lot of things happening, and we try to be there for players on the forums, on Reddit, on all of the platforms. We're doing streams, we're having offline events, so we usually try to be as fast as possible with looking at these applications. So if you haven't heard back yet, you should hear back within the next, let's say not next week, but the week after. Where is Captain Jingles? He should be coming out in update 0.8.9.
Could have said more dramatically.
Yeah, I really needed to calculate in my head, but I don't have final confirmation for this yet, but I'll try to get it for you. But that's the time when it should happen. Do you have to be on the EU server to play with Lord of Droid? Yes, because he's on the EU server. Can German battleships get a balance pass? Russian BBs have completely superseded them. So first of all, the last part is not true. And German battleships, we saw a lot of comments about this, and we pay very close attention to German battleships. We actually buffed their secondaries, I think 2 patches ago, to give them a bit more love. But overall, they perform just fine. It's not like German battleships are underperforming. So this is why we don't see a reason to buff them at this point, because they're doing fine. We are looking at Russian battleships, and if there are particular battleships that are overperforming, then we'll take a look at how we can, address this. But basically, what I said like 5-6 minutes ago applies here as well. They were released a few weeks ago. It takes some time for stats to normalize, and then if we see that we need to adjust something, we will do it.
Somebody's been asking to make NA account. I'll think about it.
Suicide Buggy Squad is asking, why is it possible to play with rank 8 guys while you're on your final rank up match? Why not only include 2 to 5, for example? Usually the matchmaker should do this, but I think if the matchmaker is struggling to find the exact amount of people within that bracket, he will probably grab someone from the other bracket to fill up the match. Can we get a camo filter sort by credit at bonus or commander XP? Funnily enough, we had a discussion about this today. Maybe potentially in the future we'll have to take a look at it. It does require touching the UI and making some changes there. So we'll have to see whether we can do this. Who of you will be in Den Helder at the event this Saturday? So it's going to be me and Wargaming Lumberjack, our Polish community manager, who was doing most of the planning for this event. So you will be able to meet the 2 of us. Is Benham? Okay.
Benham?
Can Benham come again? You missed it due to real life job. Maybe at some point in the future, Benham can come back in some form or way, but I don't know when. So there's the possibility to, but I cannot make any promises. The feature of bracket matchmaking is disabled for Sprint. Well, I mean, most of the time it actually does work in that way, that you mostly play with people from your bracket, but yeah, that might be true. Will there be an abonnement system? Oh, Dahugi, I'm pretty sure you're German, right? The abonnement system for World of Warships in the future, like it was suggested by Notzer. So, a player liking the game can spend a monthly fee, getting camos, a bonus on ships, and so on, besides premium. So, this is not planned. I can be very straight up about this. Whether basically have like an abonnement system, so you pay a certain amount of money and you will get camos, a bonus on ships and so on, besides premium. So basically something on top of that will give you more rewards, additional camos, maybe even like, for example, I saw suggestions about just getting all of the ships. Basically just pay a flat price and you will get whatever is coming to the game. So this is not planned. And you're dancing with BD here. Oh, and you have a war spite with secondaries. Do you have a secondary build?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Oh.
I just look at him. I'm just gonna look at him. What? He's gonna torp me? That's fine.
No, I think he's going to not really hit a lot of these torps. Nicely done. Graf Spee secondary range buff when? I don't know about this buff, but if you know about this buff, please send me a message because I was not informed about this. The word you're searching for is subscription, exactly, subscription mode. In German, it's abonnement, stolen from the French. Can the daily missions be changed so they don't require you to win a mission? You once spent 4 hours grinding them since you kept losing games. I can check whether we can have a bit more variety in basically requirements to do daily missions. I can check, yes. You heard subs are coming to the test server, but when? Wild Toast, if you haven't watched the video yet, we put out a video today, the Waterline video, which contains a lot of information and answers to questions we saw after the announcement for submarines. So please take a look at this. The test for submarines is not too far away, so keep your eyes open on the portal. As soon as we're ready to, invite you to the sandbox server, we will do that. So just, nice, Alvo. Our Spite is such a good ship.
Oh, come on, 3 fires?
Just repair it. There
No,
we go. Can we please get the ability to change the tracer color on legendary commanders? Your reason for wanting this is that the small lens turret looks like turbo laser batteries from Star Wars, and I really want green tracers.
Why are you doing this? Just to torp me?
The guns are too big.
Oh.
You have to use the water to slow the shells down even more. Pally says maybe in the future. Right now, that's simply not possible. Do you guys still feel that Russian BBs are in a good and balanced state? So, like I said, Matt Chris, we are looking at it right now, and if we have an update on this, we'll let you know. Like I said before, it takes a certain amount of time for stats to basically calm down a bit after the release, and then we can judge how they're performing and whether we need to adjust anything about this. Oh, that Pensacola is going to have some fun with that Perth. Any other questions that I missed?
Maybe I will have the final say.
Are there any plans to come to #America for meet and greet? So Eagle Paw, unless I can convince this guy here, right?
What about?
So what we need to do. Chat is asking, right? I'll just move the microphone here. So chat is asking whether we can make a trip to the United States so we can meet our American players.
Oh God!
I think this is a good business reason to go. Chat, you want us to go to North America. No, guys.
You broke me. You guys broke me.
No, so the thing is that we do have a North American team, and they actually have a really, really, really nice offline event.
How about you ask NA, the American team, to invite us?
To invite us. Oh, yes. You should maybe do a request on the NA forums. Popular request. #Bring the Twins to America. And the American team has a really, really cool offline event tour. If you don't know about this yet, please go check it out on their portal. They have the Anchors Away tour, where they basically visit, I think in total it's 13 museum ships all across the United States, where you get a really cool guided tour, nice goodies. You have the option to have meet and greet with the staff, Q&A sessions. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, I think, was it 2 weeks ago when they visited Canada and basically had a player gathering on the Hyder.
Kraken.
Nice. Nice. See, like I stopped dragging you down, and now you can unleash your full potential and earn that stuff.
No, that's not bad for ranked.
Take screenshots, right?
Huh?
Yes. I mean, you basically only had 7
I didn't realize I was in Kraken.
Yeah. So Duxer is asking question: could you please increase credit income? Because right now it's really hard to farm credits for new ships. So actually, I think my personal opinion is it's actually too easy to get credits these days in World of Warships. But we at least I'm not aware of any changes to the economy in the foreseeable future. But what you should really do is use all of the advantages you get in the game. Because simply by playing, you get signal flags, you get camouflages, right? Use those bonuses in the best possible way. If you can get your hands on a premium ship, that's always helpful. And it's not like you have to buy them. We have plenty of events where you can, get. For example, we had the French DD arc where you were able to get the Sirocco on tier 5. Or you can, for example, accumulate coal and steel over time and trade that in for reward ships and use that to improve your credit income. Or sometimes if you struggle a bit with the higher tiers and making basically breaking even or making credits, it's absolutely fine to go to the lower tiers or mid tiers. Mid tiers is actually probably the best region to farm some credits. It's what I did when I had to pay for my first tier 10, the Montana. I actually went to tier 4 and farmed my credits there because that was basically the best ratio I could get for amount of time spent in credit income. Because I didn't really have any premium ship back then until I got my Murmansk, and then I farmed my credits with that ship. So for now, there are no plans to adjust this, but there are so many additional factors that you can get in World of Warships at this point compared to, let's say, 3 or 4 years ago, where you can just, boost your credit income significantly. Right?
Stack them up wisely.
Yep.
Make that first win count.
Will you change the karma system? Hopefully at some point in the future, because we're not super happy about how the system works, but we have bigger fish to fry at the moment. And something like more consequences for toxic players in chat. So you're talking about two different aspects, right? So toxic players in chat will get banned. And if you go to the forums, you will see a lot of messages where people say, hey, you know what, I got banned. Why did this happen to me? It was because you were toxic in chat. So we have several systems that are catching players actively when they're misbehaving in chat. Also, you have the option to report them, which will be locked in our system. And then we take a look at those reports. So overall, if you're toxic, you will face consequences in terms of chat bans. The karma system itself, in terms of like the actual karma, is not there to punish people for misbehaving in chat. I mean, yes, you can report players for misbehaving in chat and you will get a minus in karma. So if you're not the nicest player in chat, you won't really farm a significant amount of karma. But right now, there's no pro or con to having a certain amount of karma. I mean, if I take a look at my karma, I think I'm sitting at like close to 2,000 karma. And it doesn't really, get me anything. So, in the future, it would be cool to change the system. But right now, we still have to finish the CV rework balance. We're working on submarines. We are working on new modes, cool activities for you guys. So, it's always, balancing what we're working on and what we can actually do.
Somebody, Bob 247, please send Mr. Conway to the UK because he wants to kick him in his nuts.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that sounds like an interesting story. So please give us a bit of context.
Yes. Actually, we really want to come to the UK, but it's a bit, I don't know. We're trying to do something with the museums there, but it's very complicated. Brits are getting more and more complicated. Probably it's Brexit. I don't know. It's proving to be very challenging to find a good museum who can, just let us in and just even try to do a free open day. Even that is more complicated than we thought. So we're right now stuck there. If anybody can help us, please write us a message. If you know somebody in the museum who can hook us up with somebody, please write us a message.
Yeah.
Yes, killer Jesus God thing. Yes, thank you very much. This is the best free game he has ever played, he said.
I agree. Is the Slava still coming and still a grindable ship? So no news on Slava. She's currently, sitting in port and waiting for what we're going to do with her. So no update on this. What is the point of reporting somebody for playing poorly? What happens? There's no real consequence to this. It's a bit of like a way for you to vent. If you feel angry at somebody, instead of raging at him, you can just report him for playing poorly. Is there a way to report players when they are incredibly rude? So in general, use the in-game system. Only if all of you use it, it is working properly to report players for misbehavior in chat. If there is a case when you feel like this guy is, this has to be dealt with immediately, you can send, for example, a PM to Mr. Conway or to me, and we'll take a look at it. And if we see that that's true, we'll apply some additional pressure on punishing the guy. When will we be ready for the Italian line? So 8.9 is the first update with the... Oh, you're playing Venezia? Nice. Will be the update when the Italian arc is going to start. So that's... And now we can actually put a date to it. What?
Will you play or what?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm trying to be nice to chat and, interact. And, answer stuff.
We have Taki on Division. Oh, hello.
No. Taki is not in Division. He's just playing.
Oh, damn it. I'm looking the wrong window. Oh, but Taki is playing.
Yes, he's probably still here and, reading chat and spying on us.
Yeah, we have a lot of spies.
Shouldn't you ask people like Rita Game or Jingles for such potential connections? I mean, we do keep in touch with them, but, we're reaching out as a company, not as a private person. When will you buff Mikasa? I agree, voice of Dark Pillar.
Oh God.
Or Dark Plier. I'm constantly asking. We asked live on the Gamescom stream, and I had the feeling that Evan did take my request not that seriously, because I do feel what we need for the Mikasa is basically a secondary reload booster.
Can you press
Can I press battle? See, this is the kind of feedback I get here, for popular demands like buff the Mikasa. You like the stream? I hope you do. I mean, we're trying to, provide you with answers, news, and hopefully also some friendly banter and entertainment.
What? Let's get this soggy bread. What? Why? What?
There was a question. If I reset a tree to research it and the anniversary gives super containers for tier 10 ships, will you get a super container for that line, since I did have a tier 10 in that tree before resetting it as a part of the research center mechanic? So, Bacon of War. So, this is, yes, this is something we thought about, obviously. For the anniversary, yes, you will get rewards for tier 10 ships, right? So, if you reset a line before update 8.8 hits, you will automatically get all of the rewards for that line. So if you, for example, let's say you reset the Montana branch before 8.8 hits, and you won't be able to get to, let's say, the Montana in 8.8, you will still get the reward automatically. You don't even have to get that win for that ship. So because we know you're using this feature, and we don't want you to punish for using our new feature actively. And the cool thing is, if you basically reset a branch now, and you actually manage to get to the tier 10 ship, you will be able to get that reward a second time. So it's basically, you actually have a chance to get that reward twice. But only twice. That's the maximum.
Look at the matchmaker. Balanced.
Oh, I honestly, this is something I was so happy to also read this.
Thank you, Wargaming, because this...
No, they did. Yes,
okay,
no, it was really cool. Okay. On the first 2 days of the update when I played,
I guess it gets lost in like nerf.
Yeah, exactly, nerf XYZ. I got quite a few messages from players who said, "Hey, they thought it would take longer for them to feel the impact of the matchmaking changes, but they play way more tier 10 only battles and they love it."
Venezia is too OP.
Venezia is a ship that is quite strong. No, I think it's a very strong ship, but it takes quite a bit of time to get used to it, because obviously you don't have HE, you only have AP and semi-AP, so you don't really have damage over time that will contribute to the performance of your game. And I mean, she's still in testing, so there might still be changes be applied to that ship, but overall, I think she's a strong ship. But I think, at least my personal opinion is that, and that's me talking as a player, right? The main aspect would be that the SAP was a bit too weak against DDs initially. Now it might be slightly too strong against DDs. So we'll have to see whether we can make some changes for that. But overall, this is why we're still doing the testing, right? We're not just taking the chip and releasing it as is. A lot of Yamatos here. I do keep underestimating Henri's and their speed. Oh, wow. That's a mutual annihilation there.
Annihilation? Already?
So both of our DDs are actually going the outer line. Oh, it's Captain White. Oh, nice. Hey, mate. If you're watching the stream, feel greeted. Oh, that Yamato is actually turning into those torps.
Oh. Oh. No? No.
I'll have to retreat here a bit.
I don't know. Venezia is okay. It's fine. Okay, it's not weak. Let's put it this way. It just thing I miss is like I can't set fires, right? So
problem is I'm going to just get burned down here. That's the thing. I think the Kremlin, for example, is a very, very strong ship in the right situations. But I'm facing a Des Moines, a Conqueror, an Ori, and 2 Yamatos. So basically a situation where they will just, be able to focus me down. And my Yamato is not very eager to help me with tanking, so it'll be a bit tricky. I hope we can get that gearing. That would be very helpful.
Well, gearing is a wall. Can you not go forward, please? Or do you have to? Do you have to go forward?
Well, I need to change my position because otherwise they will just farm me. So I need to use the island here as a kind of a natural blocker.
Just be careful because I think you might have torpedoes coming sometime.
Well, the thing is I cannot just reverse.
Yes, you can.
That's...
Yes, you can.
Yeah, I can, but it won't really lead to something good.
I don't feel comfortable in this position as well. Too many battleships here.
I mean, you can help me by simply focusing fire on, for example, the Des Moines and then...
Yeah, Des Moines? Not even in my range.
Can I dodge these torps? Oh no, this is not gonna be fun.
As I was afraid of. Yeah, Des Moines is out of my range.
So yeah, I'm going to use this natural obstacle here to help me be able to get a bit more HP. So why would you shoot AP in Italian cruisers if you have SAP? Well, just like in battleships, right? In certain situations, AP is going to be the better choice, depending on whether the enemy is going to show you full broadside or not. It's always like a choice of the situation, right? They're also very strong HE ships, but there are still situations where AP is the better choice.
Now it's gonna get interesting because I am in a corner. I have 2 Yamatos looking at me, a Conqueror, and a Des Moines.
Yeah, but that Des Moines is also out of position, so maybe we can punish him for that. I got a bit unlucky with my previous salvos.
The torpedo! He dodged it.
The Yamatos, unfortunately, are coming through that gap here. Oh, come on, dispersion.
So I will kill that Des Moines for you. How about that?
Yeah, those Yamatos are trying to push through.
Come on, just 2k damage, 2k HP left.
Unbelievable.
Are you gonna kill it, or should I kill it for you?
No, I got it.
No, you're fine.
Well, I mean, I have to.
I mean, you had a history with him. That's fine.
Yeah, it's. I hope we can actually take care of the gearing. It does feel very rewarding to Citadel Conqueror. The Ori is still out there, and the gearing is still alive.
And I still can't get used to it that sometimes for Venezia you don't.
Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead.
Oh. I'm sorry to hear
I
that.
can, unless I can get very lucky. No. Unfortunately, our Somers was not really doing the best job in terms of spotting, so that gearing was able to land a lot of torpedoes. Well played, Captain White. Well played. But we should be able to win this. So I'll try to answer a few additional questions. Could we get rewards for answering surveys? Might increase the amount of people providing feedback. Does not have to be much, but even a small reward makes it worth the time. Some Beavers, maybe in the future. But maybe. I mean, overall, you should participate in surveys not because of a reward that is attached to it. That might be the wrong, motivation to do it, but because you want to share your opinion. Because if we, give out rewards for doing surveys, people might just do it for that sake and not give their honest opinion. So I think it's a bit of a two-folded sword. Captains should remember ships they have previously been trained on. Can this be considered for a future change? So OTSP, the thing is that overall, our game is free to play, and we offer a lot of options to also earn premium time or additional currencies to be able to get your hands on premium content. But certain things we decided are a part of our monetization plan, because we do need to generate income to be able to improve the game and keep developing it. Retraining commanders and moving them from ship to ship is a part of that, and that was a decision from the very beginning on, and we still believe in that. So you can, for example, use premium ships to basically move captains around and still use them, because you can have that commander be specialized on a regular researched ship, right? And then you can move them to premium ships, and within premium ships they're free to reassign. But overall, this is part of where we do make a bit of money, and we want to keep doing this. So this is basically a part of where it's a bit of a comfort feature, right? That you're able to just do this immediately without spending time to actually regrind the commander. So that's where you basically pay to progress faster in terms of retraining.
Very funny.
And Milan High will be a ship like Missouri.
Like what?
That was his question. So I guess will the Missouri be back? So we answered this earlier today. Maybe in the future at some point, right? But it would be a future far, far away. Right now, it's highly, highly unlikely that she will make it back. So don't get your hopes up. Do you need a code for a Twitch flag? Did we have a Twitch flag? We have a patch. I mean, we have an achievement. I don't think we have a flag. I actually would need to check, but there's no code for that. What are the odds of California getting 6-kilometer base, more accurate secondaries? It seems to me like it would be such a waste not to have a secondary focus on that ship, considering the big refit it had. Honestly, Brave Express, I don't know. That's up to our game designers, but I could check. There is a Twitch flag. I can actually check, because I'm already dead, so I can check. I should have it.
You should look how close the game is.
I know, I trust you.
Okay.
That's the thing. I trust you. You just got a Kraken in ranked, so you will just carry this.
I'm on the roll.
Will Enterprise be back? Same answer. I mean, we had to take her out because of the fluctuations in her performance, and we, if Maybe that changes in the future depending on the meta and so on. So we'll have to see. But for now, she won't come back. Twitch Flag would have been part of Twitch Prime. That's true. So I'll check. I should have it in my port because I was part of that. Ah, it's this one because it doesn't have the Twitch logo. It has the Twitch colors. Yes, true. So I'll check. Maybe we can hand her out with Twitch drops, but I need to check whether we're allowed to. Sounds you should remove Smolensk also that. Well, Bubs, but you make that statement without knowing how the ship is performing. So obviously you see battles where the Smolensk is doing very well, but I'm sure you also were part of battles where the Smolensk did really, really poorly. So it's always about average performance. And we do have an eye on that. If that ship is overperforming, we will adjust it because she's not a premium ship in that sense. So if we need to make changes, we will make changes. Another smoke cruiser? Oh no. What do you mean?
Venezia?
I mean, overall, the Italian cruisers do have a smoke, but it's a short duration smoke, and it's more of like a get out of jail card. That's at least how I use that. Ah, Milan, you meant a ship similar to the Missouri with top credit earning capabilities. I mean, there are ships like the Missouri. I mean, we have the Jean Bart, for example, available. But overall, whether we're going to give out that credit earning capability again, I don't think so, because it's bad for the game economy. And you have to keep in mind, right? Our game economy is something that we have to be very careful about, because if we break it, it might break the game. So we just have to make sure that everything is in balance, so we don't have to make changes in terms of how much credits you earn per battle. So we want to keep things as they are. So we don't want to basically have too much of an influx in terms of credits.
Damn it. Please tell me.
Varzul, Smolensk overperforms by a large margin. A team that has one or more Smolensk is more likely to win than the team without. That's not true. Maybe you had a personal experience like this. That I'm not basically saying that this is not true. But we have access to stats from every single player, right? And that also includes the players that you don't see, who are hiding their stats. So we have the complete data set. We know how good players are, so we can see how the ship is performing for good players, for bad players, for the average players, and so on. And in terms of win rate, Smolensk is not overperforming in those terms that you are describing. Overall, we have a very close look on that ship, like on any new ship that we're releasing, and also on the old ships, right? We have a look on the entire set of ships, and if we see that something has to be done, we will do it. I mean, there's no reason for us to say like, hey, guys, the stats are different than they actually are. There's no reason for us to do something like this. If we let me be frank about this. If we fuck something up, we will always stand by it. And you know that if we see that something is amiss, then we'll try to address it. And we always take your feedback into consideration. And we see a lot of comments about Smolensk, so obviously we're checking from our side is basically how is the performance for that ship? Is there something that we need to change or address? And if we have to, then we'll do that.
Ouchie.
Will we see another cat commander with funny voice, Izoroku again? Didn't see the event last time. Ooh, Pansy, I don't know. Why remove Kutuzov and bring in Smolensk? Well, Kutuzov was too strong for her tier.
It's a heavy cruiser on tier 8.
And the thing is though that Kutuzov was very, 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 very strong during her release. But for example, the changes to the smoke system in general and detectability when firing in smoke did tune down Kutuzov to a certain degree. Now, is it bad to release cruisers in general with smoke? No. Because we have, for example, the Royal Navy cruiser line, the light cruiser line, right, which is doing fine. Then we have now the Italian cruisers, where we're trying to use a different feature with a short duration smoke. And the Smolensk, obviously, we kept in mind that, hey, when we do something like this, when we introduce a cruiser that also has HE and has smoke, we obviously keep in mind, the experience we had with the Kutuzov. So, I mean, we do pay attention to these things. We don't do mistakes second time. And Lion, I just answered the question, guys. You also have to pay a bit of attention because I don't want to answer questions 2 or 3 times. Eben, I have a suggestion for World of Warships, a second commander per ship. All warships have them. Can you think about it? We can. I think it's a cool idea, but I don't know, whether this... I mean, it's definitely possible, but whether this is something we want to do. But I can check. How is the... It's not the NTC anymore, it's the Research Bureau. Are players using that option? Yes, they do. Some more, some less. It really depends on, what kind of player you are. But those players who, interested in that feature, they're using it. Do you have statistics about the Research Bureau and how many players already get in touch with that feature? Obviously, we do. I mean, there are things we are happy to share. But for example, I don't have the stats with me about how many people are using the feature. But obviously, we would not introduce a feature if we didn't think it would be possible, would be popular.
You can just get your personal feel as well, like you just do for everything. Just go play tier 10 and see how many Colbert.
Exactly. I was actually surprised by how many Colberts I saw on the first 2 weeks. Change HE Roma to SAP. Is it possible? It's definitely possible.
Is it?
I mean, it would be possible to do it.
Oh, well,
I mean, technically, a lot of things are possible.
We can put torpedo launchers on Roma.
Exactly, but is it likely? Probably not. You also have to keep in mind that these ships, when they were introduced, they were built with HE in mind, not with SAP in mind, in terms of balance. And it's good to have some kind of different gameplay and aspects for premium ships than for the researchable ships. So same thing happens to, for example, the French DDs that we just introduced. If you take a look at Le Terrible, she's a ship that is very close to the researchable ships in terms of how she's played. Gameplay, she doesn't have smoke. While on tier 6 we have the Eagle, and the Eagle was built with smoke in mind. And you can use that feature on a DD. And for those who would like to, get that feeling of French DDs, but without the main battery reload booster, but with the smoke, then you have that feature on the Eagle. So overall, it really, for us, we want to give you different choices and different options in the game. And if you want to create something like a Roma with SAP, we can either, give that to Roma or maybe give you some other ship that might be able to do this. Can you tell how many people use free XP for NTC?
We can't.
I can't, I'm sorry. There was a mission...
We know, but we can't.
Yeah. There was a mission a while ago to get 2,750 base XP in a single battle, and it was set that high due to community feedback for harder challenges. I was wondering if you could get the numbers on how many people completed it on the EU and NA server. So, sure. You poke me next week because I don't have that info with me right now. And we actually shared last time how many people were able to get the missions. And I'm happy to share it with you. But I need to dig it up because it's in one of our data information sets.
We should stop. I need to go.
Oh, yes, it's 8. So, I'll give you 3 more questions. And then we'll stop. If you've missed what we announced earlier today, I can sum it up a bit for you. So, first of all, information about the Italian arc and how the camouflages look, and for example the port, it's going to be Taranto. Please take a look at our dev blog. We also talked about the Halloween mode for 2019. So we'll have basically Nightmare mode for 2016-2017 version of Halloween and a completely new mode. The Twilight raid, take a look at the dev blog to find out more about this mode. And then Spectator mode is coming. Cool stuff, right? We're testing right now the implementation of the basically how to call it, the visibility. How do I phrase this? How do we call it?
What?
The visibility feature. So basically, if you break
right? The gun bloom bug?
The gun bloom, basically the gun bloom bug that we fixed, right? So we're now reintroducing that as an actual feature. That if you break line of sight for more than 2 seconds, you will stay undetected. And some changes to, for example, how camouflages work and so on. So take a look at the dev blog. So the Apache ships, can they come back someday? You want those ships. So Apache collaboration ran out end of 2016. So right now we're not allowed to bring that content back. If we get another collaboration with Ars Nova, then that option would be on the table. So it depends on whether we can get another collaboration with them. So maybe in the future. When will we get Ohio in the anniversary update for research points in Nepturian? Maybe. Maybe not. You know what? Pay attention to the portal. I'm sure you will be able to find the information there in the foreseeable future. Any changes on Italian cruiser reload? It's strange to Venezia with 20 seconds. Alpha Kill, I think overall, I mean, there might still be changes to those cruisers, right? But the concept behind them is probably going to stay the same. First of all, the idea behind that long reload is that you basically have to wait a bit longer to shoot with those guns again, but you get a really good accurate salvo because those ships are really accurate. On top of that, you also have strong SAP. So for now, that the ships were built with that as a balancing factor in mind. So I wouldn't really expect a big drop in rate of fire.
But stay tuned. They are not final. They're under testing. We will be tweaking their values for sure.
Exactly. And now I have to scold Mr. Lord of Droid because we should have added the work in progress. Obviously, Venezia is still in testing and not final.
I will be sanctioned.
And the last question, wow, still a lot of questions, but I'll answer one. So, is it maybe possible to fix the crappy matchmaking? Not ships and tiers. I mean, 40% versus 65% teams. So, Hibiki, in general, I mean, we always try to improve matchmaking in terms of, for example, up and down tiering, which we did with update 8.7. Now, in terms of the matchmaking based on skill per player, at least for random battles, we're not doing this. This is a random factor. It has always been. And it will always even out. Sometimes, yes, you might be in the weaker team. Sometimes you might be in the stronger team. But it's also an aspect. Yes, it can be sometimes frustrating. Sometimes it can be also very empowering if you might have the weaker team, but you still manage to win. Because these are very often the battles where you basically carry. And, you get those really, really great games because your team is struggling a bit. And you, as the hero of the battle, right, you basically change the tide. Guys, so I think that's going to be all of the questions we were able to answer for today. I think I answered a lot. And
you should keep a log.
Yeah, exactly. No. So guys, as always, we'll be back next week. You should definitely tune in for next week stream. I think we have something cool for you to show. So make sure to set your reminder for next week's stream. Outside of that, obviously we'll be back next Thursday. We are planning a big anniversary stream, so keep your eyes open for that one. They should already be scheduled for next Friday. So obviously there's going to be some cool stuff to get. Nice talks, fun.
There is some fun part involved.
Always. At least for us. And I hope you guys have
for me and Mr. Conway.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, you're not even here. I'll have to shoulder this one. So yeah, with this, I'll take a look at who we can actually rate. Who is live? And do this. I should do this over here.
Squirrel.
So let's take a look at who is live. World of Warships. Who is streaming right now? Who should rate? We have Flambas.
Here you can see this here.
Who else? Because we're very happy. Yes. But overall, I'm looking at who's currently streaming World of Warships, and I think today we're going to rate Flambas. Apparently, he's doing all Japanese DDs from tier 2 to tier 10. Basically, he's going down the full tech tree. So, guys, we'll send you over to him. Send him big love from Lord of Droid and Chrysanthos. And with this, we'll say goodbye for today. I hope you guys had fun with the stream. I hope you guys liked, getting to see news and upcoming things for the foreseeable future. And with that, I'll say goodbye. Any final words, Mr. Lord of Droid?
Stay tuned. A lot of things are happening next week. A lot of things, anniversary, some announcements. Stay tuned. I think next week is gonna be very eventful. I hope. At least
yes.
I hope.
Well, I'm sure it's going to be eventful, and I hope you guys are going to have fun with that.
No pressure.
And yes, with that, I'll say goodbye. Toodles. Have a great weekend. Go join our offline events if you are living in the vicinity, and happy to meet you there. So take care, guys, and I'll see you around.
Stay safe. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.